Alright, so today we are going to learn how to find the surface area of a rectangular prism, and that involves a formula. So we're on page 594, page 594. And on the bottom of this page, we're given a formula, and I have it written here on the PowerPoint as well. Surface area equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width plus 2 times the length plus 2 times the width times the height. All right, where the length is the length of the figure, the width is how deep it is, and the height is how tall it is. Kind of obvious. All right, so I'll give you a minute to write that down. All right, now let's look at this formula and try to kind of make sense of it. What are we doing here? What we're doing is, do you see this front face right here? This front face? We're finding the area of each one of the faces, and then we add them together. So why do we multiply 2 times each one of these? Here's why. Because if I find the area of the front face, I also have a back. So whatever the front is, that's what the back is going to be too. So once I find the area of the front, I multiply it by 2, and that gives me front and back. What about the right side? If there's a right side, there's also a left side. So once I find the area of, when I do width times height, I can multiply it by 2 to get right and left. And if there's a top, there's also a bottom. All right, so that is why I multiply 2 times the length and width and the length and height and the width and height. Does that make sense? So what we're doing is we're finding the area of each one of the faces and adding it together. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and work example 2. I'm not worried about example 1. You're not going to see anything like that on your quiz on Wednesday. What we're about to cover in example 2 is what I'm looking for. So in example 2, we have a length of 15 meters, a width of 2 meters, and a height of 5 meters. So we're going to use our formula. Surface area equals 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times the width times the height. All right? And then we plug in our numbers. All right, so what was the length? 15. What was the width? 2. Plus 2 times the length, which was 15. And what's the height? 5. Plus 2 times the width, which is 2. And the height, which is 5. And now I'm going to multiply these 3 sets of numbers together and then add together their product. Okay, so on the first one, what's 2 times 15? 30. What's 30 times 2? 60. All right, on the second group, what's 2 times 15? What's 15 times, or I'm sorry, what's 30 times 5? 150. Don't forget you're adding. All right, and then for the third group, 2 times 2 is? And 4 times 5 is? And when you add it all up together, what do you get?
230.
230, and what's my label?
Meters squared.
Meters squared. And that's your answer. So the takeaway from this is the main concept I want you to learn from this section. How to find the surface area of a rectangular prism. Use your formula, plug in your numbers, and solve. All right, now in example 3, now we have a word problem. So I need everybody looking with me on the bottom of page 595 as we read this. It says you're making the stadium cushion shown. All right, so that red rectangular prism, that's a cushion. The foam for the cushion costs $1.50, and the fabric costs 50 cents per square foot. How much does it cost to make the cushion? All right, well, can I just add 150 plus 50 and say $2? Why not? What key piece of information am I missing here, Garrett?
You have to find the width, or yeah.
Okay, it says it's 50 cents per square foot. Do I know how much fabric I need?
No.
Does it tell me how much fabric I need? No, it doesn't. So that's what I need to figure out. How much fabric do I need to actually cover this cushion? How do I figure that out? I need to find the surface area of this cushion. So I'm going to use my formula. Surface area equals 2 times the length times the width, plus 2 times the length times the height, plus 2 times the width times the height. And then I'm going to plug in my numbers. What's the length of the cushion? What is it? 1.5. What's the width? 1.5. Plus 2 times 1.5, and what's my height? 0.5. Plus 2 times 1.5 times 0.5 again. All right, and now I'm going to multiply them out and add them together. So I want you to do that real quick on your paper. All right, so when I multiply the first group, what do I get? I get 4.5. What about the second group? 1.5. What about the third group? 1.5. So when I add them all together, what do I get? 7.5 feet squared, or square feet. But is that what it was asking us to solve for? Okay. Now that I know how much fabric I need, how do I figure out how much it costs? Times it by what? Times it by not 150. I need to multiply 7.5, which is how much fabric I need, times how much it costs. How much does it cost?
0.5.
It costs 50 cents, or 0.5. Okay? So 7.5 times 0.5 is what? Okay, or in dollar form, that's $3.75. So I know how much the fabric costs. Is that how much the whole cushion costs? Or what's the one more piece of information that I need?
We need to figure out how many.
Add what? Add $1.50, right? What was $1.50? The actual cushion. Doesn't do any good to make all the fabric and then not have a cushion. Okay, so we can't forget that part. $1.50 for the cushion, $3.75 for the fabric, and how much does it cost to make this cushion? $5.25. All right? So we're just using surface area to solve a word problem. You have one like this on your homework tonight. Right? And if you understand that, that's everything you need to know for 12.3.